And we're live. Well, mostly. Some days I wonder. Good evening, everybody. I've already said hi to everybody, so I'm not going to go through that again, but I'm going to congratulate Wigwag Workshop Steven. He got the monster cookie. So good to see you here, and hope you enjoy that cookie. And Gerald got the half cookie. That's half a monster cookie, which is still pretty big. So glad to see you here, Gerald. And I'll enjoy that half cookie. Everybody seems to be doing okay, I suppose. Yeah, still alive here, right? Yeah, like I said, there's some days I wonder. But anyway, I'm glad everybody's doing okay. James, I guess they're trying to figure out what's going on with your heart. I had to do that once. Probably about, that was pre-stroke. That'd be back around 2000, 2001. It wasn't so bad except sleeping on it. You know, they had it strapped on my side, and I like to sleep on the left side. I should have strapped it to my right side. I mean, I did eventually get it moved because I didn't want to mess with it. But it was real difficult because I couldn't sleep on my left side without it, crushing my side. Anyway, hopefully there's nothing seriously wrong with you, because that would suck. Let's see, anybody new come in since then? Let's see what we got. Kyle Stevens. Hey, Kyle, good to see you. And Papa John's Trains. Papa John, good to see you. And who else snuck in here? That it, I think. I think so. Jump down to the bottom. I'm getting behind. I haven't even started yet. Anyway, might be kind of a boring show today. I didn't do a damn thing last week. Which nobody should be too surprised, because I'm really slacking. Lots of lovely trains, brother. Well, that's cool. I don't know if you're talking about me or Papa John, but either way, that's cool. And Papa John said he caught a heritage today. Good catch. So, I've been so busy with so many different things this past week. Hey, Real Artist, good to see you. Glad you're here. Dave Who with the heart problems, all the best to him. Oh, we all got heart problems, I guess, when you get down to it. Now, in September, I turned 65. So I figure by then I will be officially an old fart. If there's any truth to that, having to be 65 thing. Chuck Schreiber, hey, how's it going? Good to see you here. Oh, man. Sometimes these things get so far ahead of me, I can't even turn them off. So, like I said, I really didn't do a damn thing in here this past week. I don't know what my problem is. I got too many things, too many irons in the fire. I told you last week I'm working on new mailboxes in my front yard for this street, 4 houses, including mine. So I went and got all the wood today. I had to run down to Home Depot to get a sheet of plywood. My mother-in-law is having a garage sale at, the guest house. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. She needed a big table to put stuff on. So I said, well, I'm going to need plywood anyway. It's at T111. So I bought a sheet of it and said, well, you can borrow it as a table. And then, when you get done with it, I'll take it back. And it was cheap. It was $26.50, which really wasn't bad at all for a 4x8 sheet. So I got that going. I got the wood for one wall for the front wall of the shed expansion. I'm going to start on it probably mid next week. I don't know how long it'll take me to assemble one wall. It shouldn't take long because it's just framing it, you know. It's just getting the measurements right. So I want to get that up, and then I don't know if I'm going to have any extra money for more 2x4s or not. I might, but if not, I'll have to wait till next month to do the two 8-foot sidewalls for a total of 16 foot. And then finally, probably the month after, will be the back wall, which is 6 foot 4 inches. Then I could start thinking about roofing, flooring, exterior walls, and of course insulation and interior walls and electric. It's going to take a few months, I'm pretty sure. I don't see this being a quick project. The only bad part is we're at the threshold of hurricane season here, which I'm not too worried about it. But you know, the weather's already, oh my God, we're all going to die this year, you know. They're overhyping it like they usually do. But I think I'll be okay because, like I said, the framing is probably going to be the toughest part for me. Once it's all framed out, putting up the exterior wall, well, the roof will be a little tougher. I'll do the roof next, then the floor, then exterior walls. So, in theory, I should be able to do the roof and the floors at the same time. I should have the money for it. Then the following month, I could do the exterior walls. Once they're up, I'm not really too worried about hurricanes or anything because we don't really get hit that hard here in the middle of the state. Now that may change. I don't know. Like I said, the weather people, they're predicting like 27 named storms. 4 major storms are supposed to hit the U.S. It doesn't necessarily mean here. It could mean, you know, North Carolina, Virginia, New York, New Jersey, who the hell knows? Texas, you know. I don't know that it'll actually come down to that. I really do believe that they're hopeful. But, you know, every year they predict, you know, doom and gloom, and in most cases, nothing serious happens. Now, a couple of years ago, we had Ian down there, and that did a lot of heavy damage in Naples, Fort Myers. It came through here. Matter of fact, the eye went right over Sebring. But by the time it got here, it was more or less Category 1. The windstorm, you know. So I wasn't too worried about it. But that's the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about with building a structure during hurricane season, you know. I'm going to anchor the walls until, you know, they're completed. That should help. And since it's just 2x4 construction, there shouldn't really be much of a problem with wind. Now, if I had the plywood up, yeah, that would be an issue, you know, if it wasn't finished. So I say I will finish the entire cage. So it's something like this. Except it'll be longer than this one. But basically, well, this is the part that goes against the existing shed. And this is the out section. I'm not going to have as steep of a roof either. You have a very, very light pitch on it. I don't think it's necessary to put a steep pitch on it. And that, once again, will also help with high winds, potential hurricanes. Remember, the old style of building houses in Florida were flat roofs with just a tiny pitch on them. Of course, now it's changing. People are putting, you know, these church steeple pitches on things, and, well, they're idiots. You know, why not just build a wall for the hurricane and knock, you know, tear your roof off? That's exactly what happens in many cases. Yeah, you can't fix stupid. So anyway, that's that plan. Of course, I've got to get the air conditioning in my car fixed. I mean, I really, really have to get cranking on it. I have a doctor's appointment in Naples in August. I've already postponed twice. I can't postpone it anymore. For my cardiologist, he'll be right up my ass if I don't make it down there in August. Well, I got to have AC to do it. So those are the things that I'm kind of, you know, faced with right now. The most important things anyway. Other than that, it's just basically, play with trains and lounge around, do whatever. I didn't do any printing this week. Matter of fact, and is this not advancing here? That's not good. There we go. For some reason, it got stuck. Let's see, where did I leave off? Okay. Anybody pop in? Railway says new keyboard fingers getting used to it. There you go. The keyboard here is fine, but the one in the main house I got to replace. Half the time I hit the key and nothing happens. It's a real nuisance. Well, I was really iffy on the whole thing. The floor is going to, or the roof is going to be the toughest part for me. I'm going to have to employ some help. My neighbor, Randy, he said he would help me out with it. Probably the two of us could do it. I think we're going to do a metal roof. It'll be real simple. I'll run stringers horizontally, the length of the roof, or the width actually, I guess, and then fasten the metal panels to those stringers. So I won't have to put plywood up there, which would be really handy, So I'd kind of like to get that done first. And then, like you say, once the framing is fine, the framing is good, I could just slide, because it's 6 foot, the actual interior area will be 6 foot even. So all I gotta do is cut down a piece of plywood to 4 foot by 6 foot, slide it in there, lay it down, screw it down. I'm going to screw everything. I don't nail anything. So that won't take hardly anything. The reason I wanted to wait on the floor was because of weather mostly. Now, I don't know how much rain we'll get this time of the year because everything's screwy now. But if it rains a lot, it could ruin the floor before I get the whole unit finished. So this way I can get the floor in, get the exterior walls up to protect the floor. The roof will already be up. The roof will protect the floor to begin with anyway, for the most part. I mean, I can always wrap, a tarp or something around the sides if the weather looks like it's going to be real bad, just to protect the floor. So that was my thinking behind doing the floor next to last. Remember, I'm not really a builder. So, I can do things. If I put my mind to it, I can do it really well. But it's really not my forte. I'm more of a mechanic. If you give me a piece of steel, I'll make you something. I do electrical, plumbing, all that other stuff. Carpentry was never... I'm not bad at it, but I don't really enjoy doing it. Oh, Barry. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem, Grower. They'll be here whenever you want them. I haven't had any calls for them, so whenever you're ready, you let me know. I'll ship them to you. Not a big deal, Oh, Jade put up a link for... Oh, damn it, I did it again. I gotta stop clicking on those links. Oh, man, I hate when that happens. I gotta go back over here. Get back here. Alright. I can't remember not to click on links. Because it takes me to the page, throws me out of everything else. I mean, I don't lose nothing, but... Tom says, Jim, hurricane starts in September, maybe early as August. Well, technically it starts June 6th, I think, or June 30th. So that's only a month away, basically. you don't usually see any hurricanes early in the season. They said September and October are always the critical months for hurricanes. At least they have been here. But I wouldn't bank on that this year. Now, I don't know if you guys follow my wise guy videos or not, but I firmly believe, and there's enough evidence out there to suggest that many of these storms are being manipulated. Can the government create storms? No, I don't think they can. But I think if they pop up, they can control them and maybe even strengthen them. So, with that in mind, and the fact that Florida and Texas both are on Biden's shit list, as a matter of fact, most of the Midwest is on Biden's shit list, and all those tornadoes and stuff, it ain't climate change, man. That's weather manipulation. So we have to be careful being, Florida and Texas, and actually most of the Midwest. And Biden does not like any of us. We're all conservatives, and don't put it past him to try and fuck up our day. Hey, Joe Rader, Black Rock Central. How you doing? Good to see you here. And Ray Bertelson. Hey, Ray, how's it going? Ray says, Floridians do it backwards. Most do the foundation first, then walls, roof, etc. Well, they build the roof, wait for high tide, add 2 foot for the foundation. Well, you're actually right. In most cases, a foundation or floor is usually put up before anything else. But like I said, I'm not technically a Floridian. I'm a Yankee, damn it, So, so I do things a little probably backwards in some cases. Yeah, see, Tom, that's what I'm saying, Tom. You really don't know anymore. I don't know. I mean, my wife's kind of freaked out, but I said, you know what? We go through this every year. Right before hurricane season starts in June, the weather people come out with doom and gloom, and we're all going to die, and, Florida's going to be washed under the ocean, and it's all basically horse shit, I wouldn't worry about it. Hey, Floyd Robbins, how you doing? Good to see you here. Yeah, well, I think you already did that there, Dave. I said, Ian came right over us, man. It wasn't bad. It was a little hairy, but, there was no damage here. I brought things in, because I don't like things flying around. My neighbors did not. And amazingly, nothing got thrown around anywhere. The only thing we did have after we had a lot of the loose brush and the trees came down. And we had literally, I loaded up my Ford Ranger. I think I did about 20 loads. Put them in the Ranger, took them down to the main road 17, which is about 300, 400 yards away, and dumped them off so they could pick it up, the county would, because they won't come to the house. So there was a lot of brush down, but that was kind of a good thing. I figured that saved me money from having to pay somebody to trim my trees. Mother Nature took care of that for me. Let's see. Well, it's bullshit. Congress cannot manipulate without etc. I hate to tell you, real artist, but you're wrong. That floods they just had in the UAE or Saudi Arabia, Dubai, they admitted that it was cloud seeding that caused the problem. Cloud seeding is very old technology. It was originally conceived in the 1800s. They didn't have airplanes back then, so they used water balloons or weather balloons and seeded the clouds. I don't know if they used salt or silver dioxide or something like that. The problem they had with it was they learned early on it contaminated the water. It was bad for the wildlife, bad for humans, and actually bad for the crops as well. So they stopped doing it. And I think in 1935 or 1934, the program came back up again, and they've been playing with it ever since. And now that we have aircraft, they can really do what they need to do. And, well, you saw what happened in Saudi Arabia. A year's worth of rain in 24 hours. and never getting hit again. And I think that might have been an unintended consequence. So, you know, I could be wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Tom says foundation, then framework, then roof, then you go inside walls and floor. Well, you see, there's no actual foundation as far as I'm not putting concrete pad down. So it's all going to be wood frame, just like the shed is. So for me, it would make more sense to do the roof. Well, frame the walls, then the roof, then the floor. And then, of course, exterior walls, and then after that, all the interior stuff. Dave says, I watch too much YouTube. I did not get that on YouTube. I actually got that out of many books many years ago. And I just I don't trust the internet anymore. Because there's just so much crap on the internet, you don't know what's real, what isn't. If you guys don't watch my videos, you probably should. You don't have to agree with them. But you'll find that I will bring up subjects that you may not have considered. And there is some substance behind them. So, you know, it's up to you. Anyway, so, yeah, so I'm a little concerned about it, but not really, like I said. And you are right about one thing, Real Artist. God does have the final say in it, you know. Yeah, so like I said, I don't worry about it. I'll pray over it, and you know, so far it seems to be working because we've never suffered damage in a hurricane. Thank the Lord. So we'll see. Races just build an arc of train. There you go. My neighbor's good at boat building. Me, I have no experience with shipbuilding at all. So if I built a boat, it would probably sink. James has an arc, all the trains 2x2. There you go. Dave says, I believe the CIA and other agencies, well, they are. Like I said, if you believe that 81 million people voted for that idiot in office, well, I can't help you. You know. And they say that Trump is going to win big time come November, and I tend to believe that, although I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats do try and cheat again. Floyd says, hey Ray, you built your layout in an arc. That would be cool. Wouldn't it, sort of, in a way? I don't know, guys. You know, like I said, I left Naples because of the hurricane problems. And I moved, well, I came with my parents in 1969 and lived in Naples mostly that whole time. I did leave a couple of times for short periods, you know, a few months. And I always wound up going back because that's where the work was. Of course, that's not true anymore. And we never really got hit with any big hurricane from 69 on. I mean, we had a couple come through, but we always just kind of, you know, like I said, God protected us or something. And it was never that bad. Ian was probably the worst hurricane that hit Florida since, what, Camille? Back in 63 or something, whatever it was. You know, or 60, whatever that happened. You know, it's rare, but see, unfortunately, people are changing the landscape. And I don't believe in climate change, but I also do believe, though, that when you start building and overbuilding, it does change weather patterns. So, you know, Papa John says, all my friends are crazy, but a fun crazy. Yeah, well, you know, as long as you're not batshit crazy, I guess it's okay, right? Days is always more fun. Andy said, it'd be just my luck to have my ark survive the storm, then climb a bridge. That could happen. Boyd says that's the best kind of friend you need, Papa John. That's probably true. Anyway, so that's my plan. I believe it's a workable one, so we're going to go with that. I'm going to be working on the new mailboxes probably Monday. No, probably not till Wednesday. I mean, yeah, I'm getting barraged with all kinds of stuff. You know, Monday I got to go to I got to do lab work for my blood test every 3 months. You know, to check my A1C and other things. Then my mother-in-law wants me to take her to her dentist to drop off her false teeth that they totally screwed up. That's been an ongoing pissing match for the last few months. I guess the insurance company finally said, take the damn teeth back. You know, we're not going to pay you for them either way. And then we're going to send her to a real dentist and get proper dentures made for her. It's all crazy stuff. Hey, I got to get my hair cut too. And I might do that Monday as well. I am in desperate need, man. I mean, look at this. Drives me nuts. So, I got to get it cut again. I got to trim my beard too. I mean, like I said, I've been so busy, I have time to do anything. So then on Tuesday, see, once a month, I take my mother-in-law and my wife to Walmart and let them pull all their cash, right? I don't like Walmart myself. I'll sit in the car most of the time. You know, while listen to the radio, play on the phone, do something. Tuesday, I got to take them there. And then, oh yeah, wait up. Then after that, no, Monday, I got to take my wife to where her son is at. He's incapacitated. He's, you know, I don't want to get into it, but he's in a home, you know. So she has to go there for a meeting, so we're going to do that Monday as well. So those Monday and Tuesday are going to be crazy days. The weekend is already shot because I got drug into the whole garage sale thing. I'm just going to monitor for theft, you know. So I'll probably be out there with the 45 like I did last time, and, you know, if anybody looks suspicious, and they, well, you got 10 seconds to put it back or you're going to have to deal with this. Works every time. Now, you know. And Ray says, no Floyd, it's all flat and the trains fall off the end. LOL. Now I understand why it's so expensive in the hobby. Ray wants to know, flat Earth, where does all the water go? Well, I'm not going to get into it because I'm a flat earther, but it doesn't fall over the edge. I'll leave it at that. If you're interested, go on Rumble, type in flat Earth. There's all kinds of videos you can look at, and then you can draw your own conclusion. Uh-oh, Dave, that's not good. My A1C is up, gotta quit cheating on my diet. Mine went down a little bit, and then it came back up again. And I'm trying to figure out why, because I basically eat the same stuff every day. You know. So, but I did change my insulin. I went from Levemir to Lantus. The Lantus, I could take it once a day instead of twice like I did with the Levemir. I'm still trying to get the dose right. These doctors, you know, well, use your own judgment, which in a way they're right. So I was taking 45 units in the morning of Levemir and 50 in the evening. Right? No, vice versa. 50 in the morning, 45 at night. It was working, but like I said, it was, you know, a lot of shots taken twice a day. So my new insurance company allows me to take Atlantis, which I originally was on, which worked well for me. So I don't want to take too much, so I started low. So I started at 70 units once a day. It didn't do enough, so I went to 75, and now I'm at 80, and it seems to be leveling out pretty good. So I'll probably be okay with 80 units. So like I said, because my diet is pretty much always the same. Every now and then I'll splurge and get a pizza or something, but that doesn't happen often, and I usually know how to handle that insulin-wise when I do. Just emailed you link to a form where I printed zip files, each is too big to email or 7. I looked at your farm scene yesterday. I commented on it. Man, I tell you what, you got a lot of real estate for that. I wish I had that much. I started looking at him, holy Christ, he's got like 20 acres of corn out there, you know, in scale. And probably 10 or 15 acres of wheat. I mean, that's a lot of stuff, man. It looks good, though. It looks real nice. I'm really impressed. Thank you, James. Appreciate that. The only one of you are slacking on the thumbs up. Dave says baseball bat works most of the times. Okay. Yeah, I'm working on that. I gotta stop. My bread intake is terrible. I love peanut butter sandwiches. I can't eat peanut butter out of the jar. I mean, I gotta put it between 2 slices of bread. Now, all I eat is white or rye bread. Rather, I don't do white bread. If I can get rid of the bread, the rest I got covered. You know, they said the veal is basically meat. Should be okay. I get steak hot dogs, actually real steak in them. I have plenty of eggs. I love butter. I only eat real butter. And then, of course, the bacon's not bad either. I get more bacon. So I'm going to try it because I really got to get things back down. I got to lose weight. This weight shit's really pissing me off. I actually jumped up to 230 a few weeks ago. And I was holding fast at like 221, 222. And all of a sudden, I don't know what the hell happened. I haven't checked lately. I think I went down again because I feel a little better. But I need to get below 200. I mean, to me, 200 is the freak out number. If I'm under 200, I'm okay. I'm only 5'6", you know. 5'6.5" maybe because I got stretched with the chiropractor. But, but yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. Tom says, the governor asshole in my state wants to allow ex-cons to be able to serve on a jury. Would you want to make? No. There's reasons why. I mean, I agree that I don't think it's right to take away their rights. But, I mean, I can't imagine any lawyer for the prosecutor is going to allow ex-cons in the jury. I could see the defense going for it, you know. But I would, no, that's just not a good idea. But I do think it's wrong, though, to take away their rights. If you commit a crime, you go to jail, you serve your time, prison, jail, whatever. You come out, all your rights should be restored, just like it never happened. And that's the way it used to be a long time ago. Actually, in the Old West, it was that way. And if, you know, I did research it. And you went to jail for something. You know, when you got out, they gave you back your gun, your holster, your ammunition, a few dollars to get on your way, and, you know, if you screw up again, well, you went right back to jail. But it's bullshit. Basically, if you commit a felony, it's a life sentence, no matter how you look at it. You can't vote, can't own guns. You know, there's a whole bunch of those sort of things you're not allowed to do anymore. Unless you have to hire a lawyer and fight like hell, and it takes years sometimes to get your rights restored. That's bullshit, you know. And if it's a serious crime, you shouldn't be breathing. You know, if you committed murder but they knocked it down to manslaughter, you get 20 years or so. You shouldn't get that. You should still get a hanging rope. You killed somebody. It don't matter how the hell you did it. They're still dead. All right? But that's me. What can I say? James says, Tom Grady, we have clowns. Yes, they are. They are definitely clowns. Dave says, your government looking for more voters, Thomas? For your governor? Yeah, they all are, believe me. Andy says, Thomas, they say it takes one to know. And that's true, too. Ray says, Thomas Brashy, that's a hard question. I've been convicted by dirty cops and DAs. I was lucky. I only lost one case in court. It was rigged. The funny thing is it went away right after they found me guilty because they withheld adjudication on it. It was for disobeying a lawful order of a police officer. I was with a friend one night. We went to the store to buy some sodas and chips. Neither one of us had been drinking, you know. He was driving his piece of shit Ford. What the hell was that? Ford Galaxy 500 or something like that. Hey, the car got hit on the passenger side. You couldn't open the door. You had to get in and out through the window, you know, like that one comedy show. I can't think of it. But anyway, 10 o'clock at night. We just come off a traffic light. There's the blue light. 2 state troopers. So I told Wayne, I said, look, I said, just stay in the car, turn the inside light, and put your hands on the wheel, you know, because this was about the time that the cops were getting a little trigger happy, you know. You jump out of the car and you wind up getting shot. We don't need that. So he did what I told him. He put on the inside light. We both had I had my hands on the dash, he had his on the steering wheel. Cops yelling at us, get out of the car. I said, don't get out of the car, man. We get out of the car, we're going to get shot, you know. So the one trooper, the head asshole, he comes up, gun drawn, ready to shoot somebody. He says, what the fuck, and this is what he's talking, what the fuck is wrong with you idiots? I told you to get out of the car. I said, sir, that's not the way it's supposed to be done. You're supposed to come to us. We did everything correct here. Interior light, hands where you can see them. What is your problem? You know. So I kind of give an attitude after that. I mean, I was nice about it, but hey. So they pulled Wayne out of the car, gave him a sobriety test. Okay, it was about maybe 50 yards away from where we pulled over. Now this is in the middle of the night, 10 o'clock at night. There's no street lights. It's pitch black outside. The cop throws some change on the ground about 15 foot away from Wayne, tells him to identify the coins and whether their heads or tails up in the dark. So by now I'm sitting on the door of the car with my hands on the roof, right? Because you couldn't open the door. So I said, look, that's not a legal sobriety test. You can't do that. You know? I said, Wayne, tell me you want a blood test. You know, they'll take you to the hospital, draw blood, they'll find out that, you know, you're clean. So the cop gets a fucking out. He says, get back in your car, you're going to jail. I climbed out of the car, put my hands behind my back, walked up to the car and assumed position. Threw him off. I guess he didn't figure I'd do that. So, he goes, all right, asshole. And that's the way he talked to us, right? All right, asshole, you're going to jail. Like, that's fine. You know, I'm ready. They reads me my rights, and I've been in trouble with the law before. I said, never got convicted for anything. You know, because I never did anything wrong. I mean, the things I did do, I never got caught for, and they weren't that serious anyway. You know. So he reads me my rights. Says, do you understand your rights? No, sir, I do not. That's what my lawyer told me. He says, you never understand your rights. He says, I don't understand your rights. Nobody understands their rights. So you just say you don't understand. So he gets pissed off. He says, all right, well, let me read them to you again. So he reads them again. He says, now do you understand your fucking rights? He says, no, sir, I do not. Pissed him right the fuck off, right? What the hell is that, sir? You know, I was always respectful. I wasn't a jackass. Not really, but I said, sir, I don't understand my rights, so if you're going to arrest me, go ahead and take me to jail and be done with it, you know. I didn't know it, and I guess the lawyer didn't tell me. He said, because I didn't acknowledge my rights, he couldn't search me. He said, well, what's your name? I said, well, you're the cops, you figure it out. By that time, I'm starting to get pissed off, right? You're the cops, you figure it out. So he straps me in the front of the cruiser on the passenger side. I'm handcuffed, I'm seatbelted in, and the second cop is holding the gun to my head. And I looked at him, I said, you know, I volunteered for this. Please put your gun away before I get hurt. You know? So he did. And he says, well, why'd you give him a hard time? It's because this is bullshit and you know it. You know? I said, I know what you guys are fishing for. I don't really care. We did nothing wrong, you know, because he claimed that we were weaving all over the road. I said, well, you just came up behind us when we left after we came off the stoplight. If we were weaving so much, why didn't you pull us over sooner? You know, he was lying, of course, because we weren't weaving. Yeah, if he had an old beater car, a couple of young guys. I think I was, 22 at the time, something like that. I think Wayne was the same age as me. It was an easy target, right? So they took me to jail. Of course, it was I thought they were going to kill me. I really did, because I knew where the sheriff's department was. It was, down on Airport Road. They had me down on 951 going out toward the Everglades. So I'm thinking, oh shit, they're going to fucking kill me, right? I mean, I wouldn't have put it past these yahoos to do it. So I finally says, yeah, excuse me, but where are you going? We're taking you to jail. I said, which one? The one in Miami? What do you mean? I said, this isn't the way to the Collier County jailhouse. You should have been on Airport Road. He calls in, right? He identifies himself, and I have a suspect in the car, refuses to acknowledge his rights, refuses to disclose his name. I'm bringing him in for... I actually didn't even have a reason to bring me in. They didn't know what to charge me with, because technically I didn't break any laws. So he says, by the way, how do I get to the jailhouse? He had to turn around and go the right way. It's funny as shit, but it's kind of scared me a little bit, So we get down there. I sat in an interrogation room for about 6 hours. About every hour they'd send somebody in and say, well, son, you're in a lot of trouble. I said, yeah, well, what are the charges? Well, don't you worry, we got charges on you. Well, what are they? They didn't know. It took them 6 hours to figure out what the hell to charge me with. All right? And they wound up charging me with resisting arrest without violence, even though I, volunteered for arrest. And then subcategorized not listening to a lawful order by a police officer, which wasn't even a law yet. They actually made it up. Now it's actually a law because of me. So when I got to court, Wayne, who was my witness, he got bumped. They wouldn't let him be a witness for me. The second cop probably would have been a witness for me because he was sort of, he was a rookie, but I don't think he agreed what was going on. They bumped him out, so it was me against the arresting officer. And that cop lied his ass off. So we went through the little trial, a jury trial, because it was a serious enough charge. And it was only a misdemeanor, but, I still got a jury. And I would have won. The lawyer was all kind of, he says, I don't know where we got this. This guy's lying, it's clear. The judge, final instructions, tells the jury they need to find me guilty or things may not be well for them down the road. I kid you not. I'm going, son of a bitch, So they recessed for about 15 minutes, and I had to wait to find out what my what punishment would be. And I'm already saying, I'm telling you, we're gonna, appeal this. This is bullshit. This whole thing is fucking. It's a clown thing. He says, no, don't worry, we got it covered. So we get back in. The judge says, well, you've been found guilty, so I'm going to adjudicate. I'm going to withhold adjudication, and you can go home. He says, well, what about the money I put up for bail? Oh, you can have that back. I think it was $100 or something like that. So I says, all right. Because, what the hell? So a few days after that, I went back, I checked the law, the records, my criminal records. It ain't on there. It never happened. They were just covering their asses. I guess they knew that they fucked up. And because I had been threatening to sue them for years for harassment. It's bullshit, So, in order to cover their asses, they found me guilty, but not. And so when they withhold adjudication, it basically didn't happen. I got my money back in full, my bail money. There was no fines or anything else, no nothing. Like it never happened. Sons of bitches, But that was the only time I really got fucked around bad with them. And the only time I technically lost. However, it's not on the books, not on my record. So technically, I've never been convicted of anything. Go figure. I tried to be on the. I've been called for jury duty like 5 times. Every time they bumped me. I actually got picked once. It was for a traffic thing. And the last minute, the girl took a plea bargain, and we were dismissed before we ever got to hear the case. And I really wanted to be a juror at the time. But there was just something, they just wouldn't pick me for some reason. I wanted to be on a murder case or something so I could say, guilty, let's hang him, because that's what I would have done, because, the way I am. But they don't even call me anymore. Ray says, I respect the badge, but not always the person. That's true. And I've had incidences with the cops. It's rare. I threw a code enforcement guy off my property. I had these 2 young ladies renting my back apartment. They stopped paying rent after the first month. By the 3rd month, they said, well, they got to go, So the way I had things set up, because I provided electric and water, it was included, I can legally turn them off for lack of rent money. So I did, and they decided to get the hell out of Dodge. So when they left most of their shit behind, okay? It was all garbage, furniture, clothing, all kinds of shit. Remember, I'm disabled. I can't really do a lot of this stuff. So I got a friend. I paid him. And he had limited time to do it, to come and move all the crap out in the driveway. It was, stacked nicely and all, but we had 3 days till the garbage men came to pick it up. Somebody called it in, reported me, for code violation. So this idiot comes into my yard. Well, you have to get that out of there right now. And I go, look, dude, I'm disabled. I can't do it, I said, tell him the situation, what was going on. I said, look, it's 3 days and it'll be gone. I said, you can write me up for it. Before you can even act on it, it'll already be gone. So why are you making such a big deal out of it? So he got smart ass with me. And I said, you know what? Here's the deal. You're fucking trespassing on my property. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to get off. I'm going in the house. I'm getting the 45. And you better not be here when I come out with it. Okay? He got the hell out of Dodge quicker and shit. So my wife goes, they're going to call. I said, yeah, I'll be here in about 15 minutes. He said, I'm not an idiot. I know what to expect. Well, here come the cruisers, 2 cops. You, Mr. Tedesco, did you threaten his son? No, sir, I did not. Well, you told him you'd kill him if he came back on the rights. Yes, I did. That's not a threat. It's a promise. If he steps back foot on my property, I will shoot him right in front of your fucking faces. And I can legally do that. He's trespassing. He has no business on my property. He thinks he's God. He's not. But I can arrange a meeting. So, and one cop said, you can't talk to me like, sir, I can throw you off the property right now, too. You have no legal cause to be here. I didn't threaten anybody. I already told you that. I promised it. And if you don't believe me, send him over here. I'll go get the gun. I'll shoot him now. I don't make threats. I'm Italian. I always throw that one in there just for fun. So the other cop actually knew me. I knew him sort of, but I wasn't sure. So he pulled the other guy and said, look, you can't talk to him that way. He's right, And he didn't make a threat. He already said he did. And I found out years ago is if somebody tells you, did you threaten him? And you say, well, I guess I did. You're going to jail. But if you say, no, I didn't threaten him. I promised him. I will carry it out. That's not a threat. And you get away with it that way. It's all in the words, man. So needless to say that, I wouldn't let the guy back on my property. And, and the cops left. And they said, well, nothing we can do. I said, no, there isn't. So, you need to tell these idiots that they're not God. They can't just trespass on my land and start throwing orders around because I don't take orders. But, yeah, 16-14. Okay, we're getting better, I guess. Maybe. Thank you for that, James. James said, Jim, you were a shit disturber. No, not really. I'm real easy to get along with until you mess me, screw me around. Then I kind of grab an attitude, I'm always nice. I mean, I always have been. I will treat you with respect whether you deserve it or not until you get stupid with me. After that, all bets are off, and I don't care. That's the way I've always been. That's true, Floyd. Some of them really do. They think they're God, too, and you find out real quick they're not, It's funny, I had a girlfriend many years ago. Her stepdad was a city cop in Naples. Now, I met him both in the uniform and out of uniform. And they were two completely different men, I swear. When he was out of uniform, like at home, he was the nicest guy you'd ever want to talk to. Probably give you the shirt off his back. The minute he strapped that gun and badge on, he was Joe Badass. He didn't like you. He didn't take any shit from you. If you looked at him the wrong way, he'd arrest you for something. I mean, that's really the way it was with him, and it was kind of strange of going, that's fucked up, man. Hey, Tammy and Ray, how's it going? Good to see you. I watched your video today. That was really cool. You guys are really making lots and lots of progress on it. James says, Jim had a hand den in his jar. I still do. It's not your typical chicken ranch, though. You know what I'm saying? Tom says, I got called for jury duty 3 times. It was selected all 3 times. Grand theft auto, rape, and 3 murder cases. All were very interesting. Cool. Yeah, that's what I wanted to get called for the good stuff, but it wasn't for the money because there wasn't no money in it. I mean, I lost money whenever I got called for, jury duty because mostly self-employed when I got called. And if I'm not working, making money, then, what, they give you like $20 a day? What a joke. But I didn't mind doing it because I figured it was, civil service and our duty and responsibility to be part of the system. Tammy says she can handle the big boys. I'm sure you can, Tammy. I had no doubt in my mind about that. So, anyway. Yeah, that's unfortunately true, Ray, in some cases. Oh, I've known some really nice cops, good guys. And, later in life, I found it was more beneficial to me to have, to be friendly with them than to be an asshole. When I was young, they messed with me a lot because of my age, And I was brought up there. My mother, she was crazy. I mean, I remember once I was real young, I was probably 8 years, no, I would have been 10 or 11 because it was down in Florida. She got pulled over for supposedly running a stop sign. She didn't really run it, but she didn't make a complete stop either, But it was for railroad tracks, so it wasn't like a big deal. This cop comes out of the car. Ma'am, you blew that stop sign, and I'm going to have to write you a ticket for that. She gets out of the car and starts screaming at him. You're a motherfucking bullshit liar, you son of a bitch. That's the way she talked, She had him so scared he was shaking. He let her go. My mother was fearless. She didn't take no shit from nobody, And she got away with it. So we were kind of taught to do the same thing, and I wasn't that bad. I tend to use a little more, I'm a little more respectful about things, but, what can I say? Hey, Artie, what's going on? Good to see you, man. How's things going there down under? Like I said, it is what it is. Now, I'm older now, and of course, I have a carry permit. Most of the time, I'm carrying when I leave the house, concealed. And I noticed that I'm pretty sure the cops know because they run your tags, That used to piss me off when I was young. They come up, I knew they ran the tag. They knew who I was. Mr. Tedesco, can I see some ID? Well, shit, you already know who I am. What do you need ID? Well, I got to have ID. You have it or don't you? you don't, you're going to jail. Yeah. And that's the way it was. It's like, you already know who I am, you know. But that's just the way they do things. So, Artie says, I hate it when the weatherman was right. What was he right about, Artie? Get bad weather down there? You're not alone, trust me. Not here in Florida, but man, Texas and the Midwest, they're getting hammered bad. So, like I said, I'm more friendly with them now. When I had my shop, I used to work on their personal cars, mostly free of charge. It's always good to have a cop in your pocket. And I got away with a lot of stuff because of it. Speeding, I never got popped for speeding, I didn't do any stupid things, but, I generally sped most of the time, and I just, or blow their horn, slow it down, whatever. And I never got ticketed for it, Because like I said, I took care of them. More rain. Yeah, I hear you, man. That sucks. Yeah, that's true, Ray. It was different. Well, here in Florida, it was bad because, and this was back in the 70s, really. I was a young man, teenager, basically. The cops, the sheriff literally ran to town. If he told you to jump, you just jumped and you didn't question it. They didn't like being questioned. They didn't like being told that they were wrong or doing something illegal. And they really did run the show. So, when you bucked them, and I did, because I said, the cop pulled me over for speeding and I wasn't. Say, sir, I wasn't speeding. Or, you said, what clocked you 10 over? No, you didn't. I was doing 5 over. I never lied about what I was doing. I got popped for 10 over a few times, I pulled you over? Yeah, I know. How much you clock me at? 10 over? All right, write me the ticket. No big deal. But if you lie about it, I'm going to get an attitude, So one time I roasted the tires of my Chevelle. It was downtown Naples, right? It was coming out up a side street onto 41 heading north. I fried them, man. Smoked the shit out of them. I didn't see the city cop across the street. Well, blue lights come on, so I pulled over. He comes up to the car, rips me out of the car, and starts, are you trying to kill yourself or somebody else? Jesus Christ, what's wrong? Dude, I just spun the tire. The car was doing 5. The tires were doing 140. What the hell is your problem? Worst case scenario, would have blew a tire. Wouldn't have lost control because the car wasn't moving fast. So shut the fuck up. Write me the ticket, get the hell out of my face. He didn't even write me a ticket for it. Just because I stood up to him, But I was right. Was it stupid? Yeah, probably. Was it illegal? Definitely. But still, nobody got hurt. Get over it. But the way he handled it was just over the top. Literally, pulled my door, grabbed me by the shirt, and yanked me out of the car. I think I was 17 or 18 at the time. Logo thinks there's somebody out there. Hey, Waycross Train Spotter, how's it going? Good to see you here. Sounds like you're going to have fun. I'll bet. Was meeting up at the train store, maybe rail fan for a bit. Cool. So he's back on the train volunteer. Vacuum it after it returned. Cool. All right, he says, me and the older cops used to see who could do better burnouts. I won every time in the Kenworth. Well, like I said, some of the cops were cool. I had a lot of cops that were friends. I had one cop. I was having problems with my ex-girlfriend, my girlfriend's mother. She didn't like me, and she wanted me to quit seeing her daughter, and I basically told her to shove it. So she concocted this story that I broke into her house, pulled a knife on her, threatened to kill her, and tried to rape my girlfriend. Total fabric. I never even owned a knife, at that time. I didn't have a gun. I was too young for a gun. Never had a knife. I fought with my fists like most people did back in the day. So the cop came on. He knew me. He said he was a friend. He said, Jim, what the fuck, man? I said, I don't know. I didn't do this, but I know you got to arrest me. And that's cool. You know, I'm going to get out of this because it's all a lie, which was proven later on to be. She recanted the story after 3 months of me being in juvie hall. But because it was all bullshit anyway, she finally admitted, I just wanted him to, to stop seeing my daughter. Man, you can't do that. Yeah. I wanted to file a charge against her for perjury, but the state's attorney wouldn't take the case because, I was underage. He was, 15 at the time? Yeah, 15 years old. But the cop was really cool. He said, man, I know you didn't do it either, but I got to take it. I said, that's cool, I never resisted arrest or anything on anybody. You're going to jail, you're going to jail. You can fight, you can run. You're still going to jail, and the charges will be even that much more against you. So I was always pretty cool about it. But he was a great guy, and it was funny because, it wasn't funny. A year after that happened, they planted pot in the back of his cruiser. And they claimed it was his. They knew exactly where it was under the seat, the back seat. They grabbed the bag. Yeah, it was like an ounce or something. And, well, we're going to have to, we convict you on this, you're going to go to jail, and cops don't do well in jail, so we're going to give you a choice. You can resign from the force, or we're going to go ahead and prosecute. So he quit. I mean, that was the smartest thing for him to do. He came and told me about it right after he resigned, and I said, man, that really sucked. One of the few good cops out there, but they said he didn't play along with the rest of the idiots, and they got rid of him, Damn shame. Let's see. At the end of the day, they got a job to do, and it's a prick of a job. I give them respect. Asshole cops I deal with in courts don't argue roadside. Yeah, that's the way I do it now, but back in the day, I just didn't care. But like I said, I never got arrested for resisting or anything like that because I was right and they knew it, And I wouldn't play along. And I usually had enough evidence to prove that, I'm going to burn you in court. You really want to go there? It's up to you, And a lot of them backed down because they didn't want the hassle. They were looking for easy targets, Anyway, enough of that horse shit. I have a rant today. Here's my rant thing. Is it time for a rant? It is time for a rant. I know y'all are waiting for it. And what's my rant about this week? It's a good one. It's not about cops. It's actually about Microsoft. The idiots that make Windows. I was going to switch over to Windows 11. I kind of didn't really want to, but I got a thing in my email saying that, realistically they're going to stop supporting 10, which I knew anyway. But they say not only are they going to stop supporting it, they're going to pretty much make sure you can't use it. So basically, they're holding a gun to our head and saying 11 or nothing. So, all right, what the hell? So I use my laptop as a guinea pig. Now, my laptop I bought in 2010. It's old. I don't have a lot of hours on it, but it was state of the art when I bought it. It has Windows 10 on it, and actually it came with Windows 8, and I put 10 on it immediately because 8 sucked. Well, I went to download the Windows 11, and they have a compatibility file to check your computer to see if it's compatible. Well, it wasn't. Everything was good except for it didn't have enough RAM. I've only got 4 gig of RAM, and I never upgraded it because I said it's just a backup thing. I had the TPM 2.0. I got all the other things that you need for Windows 11, but not enough RAM. It's all right. Well, not putting it on that computer then. So if you want, I just use the big one in here and try that one. These are fairly new computers. I built this one 3 years ago. I've got the Ryzen CPU in it. Pretty high-end motherboard, and it's all pretty, high-end. I've got 32 gig of RAM. I got an 8 gig video card in there. It's all top of the line stuff, right? So, well, this ought to just go right through, right? Well, it didn't. Apparently, it doesn't have TPM 2.0. And I don't think it can be put in there. At least I haven't seen any evidence that it could be. So, no Windows 11 in this computer. So I'm thinking, all right. Try the one in the house. I have a Ryzen CPU in that. I have the Ryzen 7 in that. This has the Ryzen 5. This is a 4-core. The one in the house is an 8-core CPU. 16 gig of RAM. Once again, I got a high-end video card in there. Same motherboard as this one, which I guess was part of the problem. Well, it didn't have TPM 2.0, and what else? There was something else that wasn't compatible either. I can't remember what it was now. So that was a 3 computers, and none of them will run Windows 11. Well, I'm not building new computers for 11. So if they decide to shit can 10, I'll go back to 7 if I have to. I like Windows. I mean, I could use Linux. A lot of people are saying, well, screw Microsoft, go to Linux. I've used Linux before. I don't like it. Mac is definitely out of the question. I know some of you guys like the Mac, but I don't. So I'm a little pissed off because basically they're getting away with this. It's a monopoly no matter how you look at it. When they're telling you you're going to use our version or else, how is that not a monopoly? You should have choices. Now, yeah, but a lot of these computers, well, mine all will. A lot of these computers won't run Linux unless they're older computers. Some of the newer CPUs and chipsets won't allow you to run Linux. So you have to, they're Windows-based machines or Mac. That's stupid shit, man. I'm pissed off about it. So I'm going to continue using 10 until I guess I can't, and I'll figure something else out when that happens. Well, you're right, James. Windows 11 is crap. You're right, Artie, and it's a lot of spyware in it. Not only that, but it's also cloud-based, a lot of it. And I have a problem with that as well. I don't like the cloud. I don't use the cloud. The cloud really isn't the cloud. It's somebody else's computer. So that means if you put things on the cloud, you're basically giving your information, your files, to someone else to, save keep for you, which is bullshit. I don't want anybody else utilizing or having access to my stuff. Not that there's anything illegal or anything. Not, but still my stuff. And I don't want anybody looking at it. That's why I have, hard drives and the digital drives now that I'm going over to. I've got a computer in the house. I think I've got there's 8 drives in there for a total of like 16 gigabytes of storage. This one I only have 1 drive in, and it's 1 gigabyte, or 1 terabyte rather. I'm gonna upgrade this one too because I'm running the M.2 chip in the, which is digital, but I've got an older 4 terabyte drive that I can throw in as a secondary, and I might do it. But anyway, Artie says my automation train program won't work on. Yeah, probably won't. That's another problem too. There's a lot of compatibility issues with older software that simply will not run on 11. James says your government is going after Microsoft and Apple. Really? I hope they do, because this is bullshit. It really is. most of the people who have 10 want to stay with 10. It's a good program. I have a pirate version of it. There's no spyware in it, you know. And I like it. It's fast. It's efficient. And the 11 looks kind of cool in a way. You know, they made some changes, but, you know, it's, of course, there's more IA involved in it, and I don't need or AI, rather. Artificial intelligence. You know, who needs artificial intelligence when we got real intelligence, right? So, me too, Floyd. I started out with DOS, and went to 3.0 actually, then 3.1, 95, 98. What was after 98? I don't know, but I went up through the line. The only one I didn't really like out of all of them was Windows 8 and 8.1. Those were shit software OSs. But I like 10. I want to stay with 10. I don't think they need to mess with it, you know. I'm hoping that the government or somebody does step in, or maybe we need to get together and file a class action lawsuit against them, right? Oh, you're right, Artie. They want to control what you do with the smartphone. As soon as they touch it, it goes ping for about 30 minutes. Well, that's another thing, too. The smartphones are all being controlled and monitored, and they want to do the same thing with the PC. Artie says the Australian government is going after Microsoft and Apple regarding their system. Good. I hope they do. Tom says, I have 2 Windows 11 laptops running JMRI, OBS, etc. All programmed out of Windows 10, works on Windows. Yeah. Most of the stuff does, but there's a few things that won't. A lot of the older software for 10 won't work on 11, which isn't that big of a deal. You know, I'm still using, what version is Word? Microsoft Word. I have the whole suite. I've had that for, I think that was 2000 maybe. 2004, I'm not sure, but it goes back a ways. It still works fine. I don't need to upgrade it. If somebody sends me something with a newer one, well, then I'm kind of screwed, but, you know, I'll tell them to resend it in a different format. But, I mean, there's no reason to keep updating and updating and updating all the time. Like I said, I get a little disgusted with it. Same thing with, you know, they do these updates on Windows 10. Half the time they don't work. You know, whatever they're trying to do, it screws up something else. I hate change anyway. I don't know if you guys use Hotmail or it's actually Outlook now, but I've had a Hotmail account for probably 30 years. Maybe longer, I'm not sure. I've had it for a very long time. They just changed it again. They updated it. They fucked it up. It was fine the way it was, but no, let's make it more complicated and hide more of the features, and you know, why? And you don't have a choice. You have to take it. Because, I mean, if I had a choice, I'd say, you know what? I don't want it. I'll stick with what I got, you know? But you don't always get that choice. Artie says, but this is the thing, though, Tom. I don't want to use that. I want my choice on what I want to use. Not having a company tell me what I should be using when I'm happy with it. Oh, absolutely. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind about that. James says, I wrote a program to do my income tax on my Atari 48. Yeah, you could. You know. I said, I was writing, I was coding games. I mean, it was real basic stuff, but on the Tandy 1000, was it? The Tandy Color computer. That was my first computer. And didn't even have a hard drive. It had a cassette deck for storage. It was pretty pathetic, but I was writing, you know, little simple games on it. I had fun with it. Of course, I was too young to pay taxes, so I didn't have to do that. Now, the whole thing is, like I said, you should have a choice. Basically, what they're telling you is even though you own the computer, and theoretically you should own everything on it, but they're saying, no, you don't. It's actually ours. We'll tell you when you can use it, how you can use it, when you have to update it, and we decide we don't want to use it anymore, you're not going to have a choice in the matter. I got a real problem with that, I really do. So I'm with Artie on that one. This is bullshit. So that's my beef for this, my rant. That Microsoft, I think, completely stepped right over that, invisible line where they're no longer a viable company in my mind. They're trying to be, tyrants, I guess. Yeah. Look, you'd never want to put me in a room with Bill Gates. Let me put it that way. Only one of us would leave, and it wouldn't be him. Well, that's a good point, Floyd. But that's the way they do it, though. You're renting their stuff. And of course, Windows 11 is free. 10 was free too, actually, for a while. When I went over to it from, what was that? What did I ever play? Was that XP? I can't remember now, but it's so long. But I upgraded to 10 because, well, I used my laptop as a guinea pig. And I said, this is not bad. I can get into this. So, but after that initial thing, you had to pay for 10 if you wanted it. Now, I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with 11 or not. Like I said, anytime they give you something for free, you can bet your ass there's a string attached to it. Because nothing in life is free, no matter how much we want it to be. All right, so that's it, yeah. Well, some of the programs, he said, well, they were doing that with the Windows Office 365. That went to subscription based, and it didn't work out too well for them because people were saying, I'm not paying a yearly fee so I could write letters, which is what it amounted to, I had the program. I mean, I could load it, but I couldn't really use it once I paid for it. And I said, well, why would I want to put this in my machine when the word suite that I have now works fine and it's free? This is not rocket science here, man. So, yeah, same as Adobe. Oh, yeah, Adobe's the same way. I like Adobe programs, but once again, I don't like the idea of having to pay for stuff. Unless I get a lot of use out of it. Now, the Camtasia I use is my editing program for when I do videos. I pay $250 for that, I also have a service agreement, which is $57 a year. But that $57 a year guarantees I get every update. If they come up with a newer version, I get it for free. So for me, it's a good deal. But once again, it was my choice. And if I don't want to do it anymore, I could stop. And the Camtasia version I have will work fine forever. So, that I don't have an issue with. Because once again, you have the choice. But Microsoft is trying to take away that choice. They're basically telling you, you'll do what we tell you, and you'll be happy about it. Like you'll own nothing, and you'll be happy, and you'll eat the bugs. Well, I got a hard no on both of those, All right, so I got to get my old desktop working again. I had Windows 7 in it, and yeah. And those old programs, they still work, the old OS. I have a friend who's he was a chiropractor. He traded in his chiropractic table for a real estate table. But anyway, he's got one of his computers runs Windows 7 on it. It runs fine, And they stopped supporting 7. Oh, hell. 10 years ago, maybe? That's what I'm saying. If you have a decent antivirus in there, you shouldn't really need any other support. I personally think, and I could be wrong on this, I have no proof, but I've always been under the understanding that all these viruses that Microsoft got hit with was probably put out by Microsoft. I mean, wouldn't that make sense? Hey, we need to have these guys update their system. Let's throw a virus in there. We'll sell them a a product that'll clean the virus out, and we'll make a killing. Think about it. Wouldn't it make sense to do that from a business perspective? I mean, it's immoral. But, you know, remember who we're dealing with here, right? Exactly. It's all about the money. And greed. That's true. Everybody wants my money too, boy. The problem is I don't have any more. Oh, you already went there. Not too bad I don't have any. Same problem here, you know. You done got it all. How much more do you want? You know? Another politician sends me a text message or an email wanting me to support them. I'm going to support them with the end of my foot. I mean, what the hell's wrong with you? Oh, well, you know, we're looking out for the little guy. We know you're having a tough time. Could you give us $100, please? Are you stupid? You know, there's just something wrong with these people. Hey, Raymond Anthony, 127. How you doing? That's my rant. Actually, it's about Microsoft and Windows 11 and how we're getting bent over on it, or they're trying to bend us over on it. And of course, greed. You know, it all falls in the same category. Tom says, Jim, the antivirus software companies make the virus. How do you think you? Well, I wondered that too. It's all a scam. Just be smart using your computer and nothing will happen. That's true to a point. Now, I did get hit with malware once, or ransomware. Some asshole got into my computer remotely. And what they do? I can't think of a word for it. They scrambled everything, and I can't think of a word, but you know what it is. And of course, you send an email. Well, I can unlock everything, or give you the code to unlock everything and unscramble it for $5,000. So I wrote him back. I said, well, I give you two choices. You can come here and pick up the $5,000 in person, or you can shove it up your ass. Your choice. He probably knew what I was getting at. I would have shot the bastard, He says, well, it's your loss. It's not my loss. I back up everything I do. I'll format my drive, load it back up. I'll invest in a ransomware program, and I'll be fine. So, right here. Never heard from him again. He'll piss me off, though. Yeah, I believe you're right about that, too. Like I said, I think, realistically, between Microsoft and the antivirus companies, they are playing a game to make money, Now, the ransomware, I think that's probably independent of that, but I don't really know. Artie says, oh, I got bombarded with support candidates in the U.S. when I was there. They want me to vote for them. Of course they do. But mostly they want you to contribute to their war chest, Artie says, it's like the housing crisis in the U.S. and Australia. Who to sort that out? Stop the greedy estate agents for making money. Yeah, exactly. Well, everything's collapsing here housing-wise. I don't know if it's collapsing, but prices are taking a steep. The same with cars even. The car companies now are practically giving away new cars. Nobody wants them. Nobody can afford them. And because of that, I mean, who's got 60 grand for a car? We're not talking a hypercar, like a Lamborghini or something. Well, that'd be more money, but, a Porsche or something like that. We're talking your basic piece of shit 4-banger, 5-speed Ford Escort or something like that, Hey, the car's not worth $5 grand. Who in their right mind would pay 60 for one? And yet, that's what they're getting, It's crazy. It really is. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's crazy. Anyway, that was my rant. I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully somebody files suit. If there's a class action, I will definitely get in the middle of it. I mean, because I have, like I said, I got 3 machines here that run 10. My wife's got 2 machines. She's got a laptop and her all-in-one desktop. that run tab. And she's having problems with hers too. That's another weird thing. Now, and I said, I don't know if I got hacked or not. I did fix it. I'm not sure how. I signed out. I signed back in. Hotmail or Outlook was working fine on this computer. Works fine on my laptop. Works fine on my phone. But the main computer in the house, when I went to Hotmail, it'd stay on for about maybe 20 seconds and then black screen. So I'd hit refresh and still black screen. I'd have to close the program down, go back into MSN, which I usually launch from, relaunch it, and it would do the same thing, and it kept doing it over and over again. What the hell's going on? So I had just enough time to bring it up and sign out of it. And then I signed back in, and now it's fine again. So something happened. But it's weird because it's the same machine as this one, basically. And it's always active. I mean, I don't close it out. I don't sign off of it. It's always on. I don't know what happened. Something did, though. Let's see. Yeah, there you go, Floyd. Hey, Artie, tell them to give you a round-trip ticket to fly to the U.S. and you'll vote for them. Yeah, they might just do that, you know. But only if you vote Democrat, though. Artie says for $60,000, they had an extra 30%. Really, they that expensive over? That's crazy. They're not worth it. They're junk. I mean, if you paid 60 grand for a car, even 100,000 for a car, and it lasted you 50 years, it never broke down, you never had to fuck with it, it would just run forever, that would be a deal. But these cars still only last 3 to 5 years, if you're lucky. Some of them can't, they get past outside a lot, and they're already breaking down. Almost everything's getting... Ford has got... I think they got the record for recalls this year. What the hell is wrong with these things, man? And they want, an F-150 Ford is $65,000 for a basic model. You want a four-wheel drive and all the bells and whistles in it, it goes running up to $92,000. It's a fucking pickup truck. That kind of money, I mean, you used to be able to buy a house for that. Some places you probably still could. Problem is, house will be around 100 years later. That truck will be here maybe 5 if you're lucky. Or he says, I did that, Floyd, for some reason they stopped contacting me. Because you didn't vote Democrat. If you voted Democrat, I'm sure they'd have paid you. Tom says, I have a Hotmail email address, but I've not used it in years. I like the Hotmail. I always did, And it's basically my primary, I mean, I have Hotmail, I've got a Yahoo account, I've got a Gmail account, I've got some other damn account, I can't remember what it is now. Actually, I have 3 Gmail accounts, and I got backups just in case, they're not really getting used, but they're there if something happens, so. But I prefer my Hotmail account, I always did. I still have a Juno account for you old guys probably remember Juno. I still have it. It still runs. You'd have to look for it. I mean, it's not obvious, but it's still active. I actually checked, I think, a year ago, and it's still working. That was my very first email account back when, what was it, AOL? No, it wasn't AOL. It was oh shit, something Scape, Earthscape, or something. I don't know what it was. One of the first browsers that were out there back in the day. You had to load them up on a 3.5-inch floppy disk. So that's when I got my Juno account. James says, I have a Nissan, great car. Well, they are good cars, James. But I prefer American cars, but the reality is most American cars are shit nowadays. Floyd says, I have one too, Thomas. Hard to say what's in it. There you go. Floyd says, yes, I had to get a Gmail account too. Well, see, the problem with a Gmail account is it really is spyware. I had to get one as well because I have the Nest products. I have the Nest learning thermostat for the air conditioner in the house, and I have Nest smoke alarms. I don't know if you can maybe that. See right there, big square thing. That's a Nest smoke alarm. Well, Nest got bought out by Google, and when they did, I had to migrate to the Google email because I couldn't access it with my Hotmail anymore. I was kind of pissed off about it, but didn't really have much of a choice. Netscape, that's what I couldn't remember. Escape something, Escape. Yeah, I'm losing my mind, you know. That was my very first. I remember I used to get, they were free at the library. You go to the local library, they give you, I think, like 3 or 4 3.5-inch floppies. It was free. Take them home, load them up, and, you know, that's back when they had telephone modems, you know, well, landline modems. It was really small. I think mine was 56,600 baud, something like that. First one I had was real small, it was slow. And I remember downloading a picture off the internet. Or no, it wasn't the internet, it was one of the, what the hell they call them things. You had to pay for it. And they were private. Somebody would give you access to their computer. I can't remember what they're called now, but yeah, it was a 14.4. No, it was, I think it was a 9800 or 9600, something like that. Before that, because I upgraded to the 14.4, then I went to the 56.6. That's what it was. And then I went over to 33.62, I think. I don't remember. Yeah, 9600. I downloaded a picture. I was a bulletin board. They had a different name for it, but I paid like $10 a month for access to this guy's computer. All he had was pictures, you know, the kind I'm talking about. It would take like 15 minutes to download a photograph. You know, I thought this kind of sucks, so I went and I bought a 14.4. Man, I could download a picture in like 2 minutes. I go, holy shit, this thing is fast, you know. And then when I got the 56.6, which I think is, yeah, I had that up until they got the high speed. You could download a picture in about a minute, maybe a little less. The high speed, it was instantaneous. Yeah. It's funny how, you know, us old guys, we've been around since the infancy of computing, home computing, you know. Artie says, I just went close to my phone and it started to ping. Goes to show they know you're, oh, they do. Every time I talk about something, I get ads for it. MSN has articles on it. I'm going, what the hell? You know, either I'm psychic or somebody's listening in on my conversations. I'm more likely to believe they're listening in. No, it was a 56.6. It was the next one up over the 1440, 14400. Maybe it was a 33,300 maybe, 33,600. I don't remember, Gerald, but because I stepped up every time they came up with a newer one. And the last one I got, I think, I'm pretty sure it was 56 something. I think. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. Floyd says, yes, gone are the days when cars were cars. Big chrome bumpers could take a 10-mile hit without. Oh, that's true. You know. Artie says, I think they stopped looking at my house cameras. I walk around and. Now, Artie, no offense, but that's something you could probably never unsee. Feel like me doing the same thing. You'll want to go blind after that. Maybe you will go blind after that. That's kind of funny. I don't know, but Uh-oh, wait a minute. I didn't know that. Waycross said, Jim, did you hear George Lucas is coming back to Star Wars? He needs to, because Disney just kind of screwed the pooch on that one. I mean, they literally destroyed the Star Wars brand. I mean, I like some of their stuff, but the latest one they did, I can't remember what it is now. I didn't see it, but all the reviews on it were like, and I believe they axed it because that was how bad it was, you know. But there's a song I still like a lot of it, but are you sure about it? You might be right, Joe. I honestly don't remember. I know I had a 14.4. I could have sworn there was something above that, but I might be wrong. I don't know. That's one way to get them stopped already, yeah, right? I don't know why this thing keeps locking on me. It's kind of weird. I like the Star Wars saga, but, you know, Disney was kind of getting away from the core of it, you know. I mean, to some degree, you can only go so far with something, you know. Now, I saw all the Star Wars movies. The first one, which was actually the third one, I still think was the best, you know. I stood in line at the movie theater for that one, me and my ex-wife. Yeah, it was a 56K. I knew there was something more than the 14.4. It was the 56K that I had before we got the high-speed internet. Yeah, I saw both Waycross. I didn't mind. I thought The Force Awakens wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. The Han Solo movie, well, it probably would have been better if they had, you know, the original actor in there, but they really couldn't, I guess, because of the age. But it wasn't too bad. Like I said, I'm not as much of a critic as some people are. I enjoy sci-fi. If it's good sci-fi, I'll watch it, you know. But I just think that, well, once again, Disney's all into the whole gay thing, and that kind of pisses me off too. They're trying to incorporate LGBT into everything, you know. I don't see a need for it, you know. If it's core to the story, that's one thing. But if they're just throwing it in there to throw it in there for shock value, I don't need that, you know. All right, Artie. Well, have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, and be careful down under there, and keep dry. That's true. We didn't get DSL until after the. Wait a minute, did we? Yeah, they did have DSL before the high-speed cable came. I didn't get it because at the time it was kind of expensive, and I heard there was so many problems, at least down here, that I figured, because I waited almost a year and a half for the high-speed cable. The guy was going door to door, basically taking orders. I didn't pay for it, but I signed my name on it, but I wanted it as soon as it became available. Now we had, wasn't Comcast, it was their competition. Can't remember their name now, but they were the best one. And so a year and a half later, I finally got a phone. I said, well, you know, cable's available in your area. Do you still want it? Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you can get down here, put it on, you know. And the yo-yo they sent to hook it up, he had no idea what the hell he was doing. I had a fairly new computer, you know. He said, well, it won't work with this machine. Bullshit. You just hook up the wiring, I'll figure it out, you know. And I did. And it worked just great. I don't know what the hell his problem was. Like I said, they were hiring a lot of flunkies at the time. Raymond said, never watched any Disney Star Wars movies. Yeah, like I said, they're not that great. They're not bad. but they really lacked what, what's his face did when he was running it. The Empire Strikes Back was great. Like I said, the third volume, which was the first one we'd seen, the original Star Wars. What was the other one? There was two others. I can't remember what they are now. They were great movies. Still, I think the third one, the one that was first shown, was the absolute best. Then after that, they kind of was. I mean, it was kind of stupid to do it that way anyway, but they probably did that because if they had showed the actual first one, it probably would not have been as good as the third one was. But like I said, I love sci-fi movies anyway. Even though I don't believe in space or any of that shit, but I don't think we could go there. But still, it's fun to fantasize and when I was a kid, I wanted to travel space. I thought it'd be cool. Already decided to go get dressed. Yeah, maybe. Thompson's DSL problems with max length from CO was 1,200 feet. My house was 1,199 from the CO. It had many gaps. Well, that was probably a lot of problem that they had everywhere. Like I said, I did wind up going with DSL with the phone company down in Naples because Comcast, I was having so many problems. The service was great. The billing, on the other hand, was a disaster. I was getting double charged, triple charged. I was trying to raise the rate on me. I find, you know what? I mean, I always get straightened out, but I have to argue with them on the phone or go down there. I said, I'm done with this. I said, you know what? I just want to be able to pay my bill every month. It should be the same, and not have to worry about it. Instead, I'm calling you up constantly. You're double charging me. I can't get a refund. We'll just give you an extra month for free. I don't have that kind of money. And I can't afford to pay you twice in 1 month. You took the money, now give it back, We can't do that. Bullshit, you can't do it. You don't want to do it, So I had a lot of issues with them, so I went with, the DSL to the phone company, with CenturyLink. And down in Naples, CenturyLink wasn't bad. It was almost as fast as Comcast. I didn't have any downtime with it or anything. So when I moved up here, I figured, well, I'm just going to go ahead and, stick with CenturyLink. Well, that was a mistake. Had it for 2 months. Might have got an hour or two of actual internet time. The rest of the time it was down. They had problems. They couldn't figure it out. The phone line was screwed. They had to run a new line. This and that. And just, you know what? I don't have time for this. So I went down personally because I was going to get Comcast. And they said, well, you owe a bill. I said, I don't owe you nothing. I am paid off with you. I know. Well, the people that own the house that you're in. Well, that ain't my problem. I bought the house. The bills don't come with it. You have to go after the idiot that owned the house. I'm not paying their bill. Well, we're not going to give you internet. Fine, fuck you then. So a few weeks later, I went down there. And so I'd like to have, Comcast in there. Here's my deed. I just bought the house. Oh, yeah, no problem. They gave me the internet. I don't know if I just got the bitch might have been in a bad mood that day. I don't know. But it was bullshit. So, and it's still not as fast as I would like, but it is what it is, I mean, it's not bad. Tonight we've had no drop frames. It's heavy on the CPU, though, 80% usage. Running at 8,138 kilobytes a second, which isn't bad. Not great, but not bad. So overall, not too bad. I can live with it, But, I've been lucky. Tom at Tom's Trains, he's got a lot of problems with it, And I love it, just his area. A lot of problems too. Comcast doesn't like to put new equipment in. I mean, as far as lines go. Now, you might have a brand new line going from the pole to your house. You may have a brand new modem, a brand new Ethernet cable from your modem to your computer. But if the lines overhead are shit, and a lot of them are, they're very old, you're not going to get a good signal. Will they replace it? Not unless they absolutely have to. Literally, unless it's broken, I mean, it's like in two pieces, they won't replace it. You know, we had that problem in Naples Park when I lived in Naples. They strung a new line. Well, the electric company strung a new line. They made it too tight. It snapped. When it snapped, it cut the cable line in half. You know, it's been under a lot of tension. So everybody in the neighborhood on that block, they would call commies. Look, you need to fix this. We've got no internet. You know, and for people, I didn't have TV service, but for people who did, we got no TV. We got nothing. You know, so they finally had to come out and they strung a new line. But it took like a couple of weeks for them to do it. We had no internet or anything. So, you know, but that's the way they run things. Today, Jim, I know that. No, actually, I didn't make any prints at all this week. The only thing I did do, I mounted this tank on the truck, and I painted it white. The paint job sucks. I got to redo it. You can see it's kind of like furry. I don't know what happened. I'm going to sand it down and shoot it again. And I did shorten the frame section on this truck. It's got all the stuff in the back. I am gonna print a smaller tank, shorter one, to put on that truck and use it for something else. But other than that, no, all 4 printers have been shut off all week. Imagine that. Like I said, I haven't really been doing much in here. I'm really slacking. I don't know why. I got a lot on my plate, you know. There's just so many things to do, both inside and outside of here. My mother-in-law's running a garage sale for the next 3 days, starting tomorrow. I got to go out there and, you know, be security, make sure nobody steals nothing. So that's going to be, you know, no time in here. Then Monday and Tuesday I have errands to run. And starting Wednesday, I got to start building the new mailboxes for my front yard. We're moving the mailboxes from the main road to my front yard. I finally got permission from the Postmaster General. So I want to get that rolling. There's just a million things to do. I want to get started on the expansion in here. I talked about earlier. I've got enough lumber to do the front wall as far as the frame goes. I may have enough money to do at least one 8-foot section of the sidewall. It's going to be 16 foot, so I figure I'll build 2 8-footers and tie them together. I don't think I'll be able to do both of them this month. I should be able to do one. And then next month I could do the second one and the back wall, tie up the framework, and possibly get the roof started. So it all depends. Like I said, you know, when you're on a fixed income, and I know a lot of you guys are in a similar boat as me, you know what it's like. I got X amount of dollars I could spend every month and can't do anything else, you know. I spent $170 on all the wood and 3 mailboxes for my mailbox project. I'm going to use my mailbox. I'll just take it down off the other post because it's practically new anyway. So I bought 3 new ones because I want them all to be identical. You know, I'm going to make a nice little decorative twin post deal with a, you know, a flat shelf to mount 4 boxes on. And I'm going to stain it and all. It's going to look really nice when it's done. I'll take pictures of it once it's finished. And I'll show you guys. But, like I said, that cost, I was originally thought it was only going to cost me $100. But then I needed a couple of, well, I bought 2 cement blocks, the half box, for the wall to support it. you know. So that was only $3 there, but I bought a couple of decorative round knobs for the top of the 4x4. That was $7 for a pair of those. The mailboxes were only supposed to be $10.35, according to the website. They weren't. They were $19.95. So I spent an extra $30 on that, you know. And they were supposed to have the 2x3x8. Couldn't find them. They were out of them. So I wound up getting 1x3x4s, two of them, stack them, because that's what's going to establish the shelf brace, I guess, sticking out of the 4x4. So overall, I spent a little more money than I originally planned. But at least that's all spent already, so I don't have to worry about it. Now it's just a matter of assembly, planting, and, you know. Matter of fact, the only thing I'll have to buy yet is the numbers. Now mine already has numbers on it, so I don't have to worry about mine. I'll have to buy the numbers for the other 3 boxes. The good news is, at least one of the guys across the street, the Mexican guy, Mexican, Jose, he's going to throw me some money toward it. I told him I didn't want anything until it was finished. I'm thinking he'll probably throw $50 toward me, which will at least pay for a part of it. I don't think anybody else is going to contribute, but that was the deal. I just wanted to get the mailboxes closer to my house, and I figured I was willing to put the bill for it and make it look nice, you know. I could have just said, you know, I'm just going to move my box over there, stuck it in the ground on a $20 post, and been done with it. But you know what? That's not the way I do things. I did the same thing back in Naples. We had 4 houses. Well, actually, it was a duplex, my house. Yeah, it was 4 houses. Oh, 5. And the 2 across the street. We shared a single post for a mailbox. Well, same deal, twin post, shelf on the front. It was falling down, so I built a new one. Put all new boxes on it. And 2 of the guys, and I think I made something like, actually made $100 on the deal. One guy gave me $75, the other one gave me, I think, 60 or something like that. Didn't ask for it, but, you know. Said, well, I really appreciate what you did. And, you know, they took care of me on it, but, like I said, I don't think I'll get that lucky on this one. But if I get some of my money back, I'll be happy, you know. But still, it was still, you know, an outlay out of my pocket, so. But it's one of those things, I needed to get it done. I mean, I had another close call getting the mail the other day. I stand in front of the box. This idiot's doing about 70, comes around the corner. I don't even think he saw me. I mean, he was only about this far away when he blew by. I'm like, what the fuck, you know? One for the fact that I'd break my hand, I would have took his window out. But I would have surely broke my hand doing it. I don't need to do that. But I wanted to. Fucking idiots, you know. I mean, most people, they'll go over out in the middle of the road or even cross the other lane. It's a 2-lane road. Not a lot of traffic. People do speed. I don't have a problem with that. But, you know, you see somebody standing on the side of the road or riding their bicycle or something, you know. No, it's not a contest to see how close you can get to them without hitting them. Although you think it might be for some of these morons. You know. What are you going to do? Papa John finally made it home. Okay, that's cool. You're home safe. I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes, guys. It's 4 minutes, actually. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm really wore out. I've been busy as hell, even though I didn't get anything done. But, yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, once again, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, and hope we all had fun. Hey, Stormy Sky, how you doing? You're here just in time for me to call it a night almost. A few more minutes. Hope y'all had fun. I know I did. I always do. I still have not. I'm really slacking. You guys, if you ever catch up with me, you can probably slap me around. All this is mostly wrong. Yeah. Off the Tracks Monday is still 7 p.m. Eastern Time with James Galt and Trackside Mike. Tom's is no longer on Monday. He quit his Monday thing. On Track Tuesday at 7 p.m. is still the same. They just had a special with Wilmer and Robert and somebody else. I can't remember now who, but anyway, Wilmer will be on next week, this coming Tuesday. Humanity Junction, I don't think he's on Tuesday anymore. Now he's on Wednesday, I believe. I'm not sure of the time. I got to find out, update all this. Same with Second Section, I think, is also on Wednesday. You have Cab Crew Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That sometimes has Tom Grassi and some of the other guys, they rotate out. Okay, Heath is Wednesday at 9. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. Tom's Train of Thought, or actually Workbench Wednesday now. He's on at 8 o'clock at Wednesday as well. Thursday at 9, as always, is Morning Brew with Dave Thurber. Crooked Dave, as it were. Of course, I'm on at 6 o'clock Thursday. Vinny, I don't think I've seen Vinny do a live stream in forever now. I mean, he does them, but he's doing the Gemini Model Works, I think it's called. And he does it whenever he feels like doing it, I guess. I catch him every now and then. But I don't think he's doing anything with under the BNSF 6951 anymore. Yeah, Back on Track Saturday at 9 a.m. And that's the only ones that I'm aware of. I know there are others. I'm going to have to do some research and get this. I got to just shit can this whole thing and write up a new one. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. There you go, different view there, right? So anyway, that's pretty much it. That's a wrap, I guess. Remember to flip off the signal man on the outro. One of these days we got to get him fired. You know? Somebody suggested doing a different outro. I might look into that. You know, I mean, I've had that one for a long time. All right, Andy, have a good one, man. Thank you. And CNL Lines. Curtis, you're awake. I'm getting ready to shut down, man. That's all right, though. You can always watch the replay. I am going to get to your house one of these days. I just don't know when. I haven't forgotten yet. I've just been too much things going on. All right, guys. Let me throw the outro up, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.